What's up, everyone? So today we're talking about leanness and why you probably shouldn't get as lean as you think you should. So leanness is one of the primary goals that I see from clients. I would say it's at least half of the people, if not more. And the second one is going to be muscle growth, obviously, but leanness is going to be the number one for sure. Now, I support most people getting leaner. If you are 25%, 30%, 35% body fat, going down, 5 or 10% body fat is going to be one of the best things that you can do for your health and your quality of life. However, you should not be targeting too lean. I see some people and I'm not going to reveal any client information. Any information you ever send to me is always going to be confidential. But I've seen this on at least 3 occasions. Someone who is 35 to 40% body fat. I'll put a picture on the screen, not of any person, just of a picture online. So you can get an idea of what 35 to 40% body fat is. They are about this, 35 to 40% range, and their goal is 5 to 9% body fat. Now, 5 to 9% body fat, first of all, 9% is like fully shredded abs. I've been 9% just a few times in my life. It is extremely lean. It is very, very lean. And I would say 99% of people will never, ever be 9% body fat. It is simply extremely lean. 5% is like bodybuilding stage ready. This is shredded, striated glutes. This is cross striations in your quads. This is full abs with veins in your abs. This is just freaky looking. Most naturals, I would say 99.9% of naturals will never ever get this lean. And being that lean is genuinely unhealthy. You need body fat to perform well and just to survive. So when I see someone who is 35, 40% body fat and their goal is 5% body fat, first of all, it's kind of hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Like when I see that, and I've seen it a few times, I'm like, oh God, again, come on. But it also shows that a lot of people don't know how lean 5% body fat is, or even 9%. Second of all, I'll just be blunt here. If you have the genetics to go up to 35 to 40% body fat, you will never, ever be below 10% body fat. It's just not in the cards. It's just not going to happen. Target 20%. 20% for you is going to be about as good as it gets. Maybe 15%, but target 20% first. Go from that 35 to 40% down to 20%, maintain it for a while, and then maybe see if you want to get leaner. But don't just target 5 to 9% body fat in one shot right from 40%. That is some starvation shit. That is ridiculous. If you go from 40% to 5%, that is like some hardcore health worrying dieting. Furthermore, why do you want to get that lean? If you just want to look good for the beach, you'll look fine at 11%, 12%, 13%. I am not 10% right now. I am probably 13, 14, maybe even 15% body fat. And I feel great. I think I look pretty good. And this is probably my optimal body fat percentage in terms of health, performance, and just everything going together in terms of quality of life and everything. Yes, I might look better at, a very low percent body fat. I'll look more impressive. I'll get more likes. But it's not really sustainable and it's not really enjoyable. That's for damn certain. It takes a long time to get there and it's really just not worth it. So my advice to you would be assess yourself. Why do you want to get so lean? Is it for a show? In that case, that's a viable reason. Is it just to look good for the beach? Not really a viable reason. Is it to do a photo shoot one time? Maybe, but it's not worth going down to 5 or 6%. That is for damn certain. Also keep in mind, genetics are going to be important for leanness. I have pretty good genetics for leanness. I've always been fairly lean. I've gotten a bit fluffy at times, but I have no problem dropping body fat. So I can maintain fairly lean while eating whatever I want. Same with a lot of these people who are selling leanness. I think you know who I'm talking about. I've talked about him before. But you should get out of your head the thought that I will be more athletic at 7 or 8% body fat, or I can maintain it year round. You probably cannot, especially if you're natural. The trouble is, if you are selling the 15% body fat diet plan, no one buys that. Even if it's what's right for you. You might think 8% is right for you, but you're wrong. Okay? If you think 8% is the right body fat percentage for you, I would say for 99 out of 100 people, you are wrong. By the way, this is for men, these numbers. If you are a woman, add about 8% to any of the numbers that I'm saying. What I found was that when I was very lean, I encountered a number of negative effects. And these negative effects are never going to be talked about by people who are selling leanness. They won't tell you how weak they are, how weak they get, but they might use fake plates to cover it up. When I was shredded, and maybe I'll put a picture or video up on the screen, I could not bench press 100 kilos. I think my max was like 90 or 95 kilos. So I got weak, and that's a number when I'm bulked up, I can do, for, 6 or 7 reps. I know it's not amazing still, but that's a pretty big drop. Seeing your 7 rep max go down to your 0 rep max, that is brutal. And even if you're doing everything right, this is going to happen when you get super lean. Furthermore, I found that I got sick a little bit more often. I would get cold. I would get hungry. It was like a fucking Oliver Twist movie or something. And it just wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? It looks great, but what is the cost? And the cost is something that is never going to be talked about on these channels because their main product is leanness. They're selling you that cutting plan, that shredding diet, that day in the life of at 6% body fat. And it's a myth, it's a myth and it's a lie. And I think it's a myth that deserves to be busted. So how do you find what body fat percentage is going to be right for you? Well, experiment. I would say find a range. For me, that is anywhere from about 12% up to about 17%. Up to about 17%, I'll feel fine. When I get to 17, maybe 18%, I'll get pretty fluffy. I'll start to get like some man boobage going on, and my endurance will suffer. And I'll just, not feel very light on my feet. That's me at about 95 to 96 kilos. And I'll fill out my shirt really well. I'll still look good, but I just won't really feel as good. I feel like maybe my insulin sensitivity isn't as good. I'll get a little bit more tired after I eat carbs. And about 11 to 12% is my bottom range. So I don't go below there unless I really have a specific reason. So when I was taking pictures for my book, I did go below there, and I maintained it for a few months. Just to get all the pictures, I was a pretty slow photographer. I had to do it myself. But basically, I just eat instinctively. So if I go below 12%, I'll notice my hunger goes up. If I go above 15%, especially above 17%, my hunger will tank. So base it on your hunger, but also on the mirror and how you feel. And you might be one of those rare people who has an 8 to 12% range that they feel good. But keep in mind that is a very small subsection of the population. All right, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Stay safe wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Peace.